Have you ever been so scared that your knees were shaking or your hands were cold with fear? Life can be scary at times. Sometimes we are afraid of losing something, sometimes of saying goodbye to something we love. Sometimes it feels like fear is the only thing that's driving us, pushing us towards decisions and actions that don't feel right. But have you ever felt such overwhelming fear that all you could do was shake with terror? Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel where we bring you the most amazing stories from around the world. Today we will share a story about a young girl named Chloe, who learned an important lesson about fear. Before we begin, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Let's begin. Chloe was a beautiful 24-year-old woman with long flowing red hair and a kind heart. She lived with her parents in a small town and worked as a kindergarten teacher. Chloe was loved by everyone in her town. She was known for her infectious laughter and her ability to make everyone around her feel special. But despite all the love and happiness in her life, Chloe couldn't help but feel like something was missing. She knew deep down that she was meant to do more with her life than just teach kindergarten. One day, while browsing through social media, Chloe came across a video of a woman talking about her experience traveling around the world and living life on her own terms. The woman in the video was fearless and confident, and Chloe couldn't help but feel inspired by her story. From that moment on, Chloe knew that she wanted to travel the world and live a life of freedom and adventure. However, there was one big problem. Chloe was terrified of the outside world. She had always been a shy and timid person, and the thought of traveling alone and meeting new people filled her with dread. But Chloe knew that if she didn't do something to change her life, she would regret it for the rest of her days. So she decided to take a leap of faith and buy a one-way ticket to Thailand. When Chloe told her parents about her decision, they were shocked and worried for her. They had always been overprotective of her and could not imagine why she would want to travel to a foreign country alone. They tried to convince her to stay home, but Chloe was determined to follow her dreams. She knew that if she didn't take this chance, she would never forgive herself. With tears in her eyes, Chloe said goodbye to her parents and boarded the plane to Thailand. As the plane took off, Chloe couldn't help but feel a sense of fear and uncertainty. What had she done? Would she ever see her parents again? Would she be able to survive in a foreign country alone? All these thoughts raced through her mind as the plane soared through the clouds. When Chloe arrived in Thailand, she was immediately struck by the vibrant colors, bustling crowds, and unfamiliar sounds. Everything was so different from what she was used to in her small town. But instead of being overwhelmed, Chloe took a deep breath and decided to embrace the experience. She booked a hotel room near the beach and spent her first few days exploring the area. As Chloe walked along the beach, she couldn't help but feel a sense of freedom and excitement. For the first time in her life, she was truly on her own, and no one was there to tell her what to do or when to come home. She could do whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted. It was exhilarating. But as the days went by, Chloe started to feel a sense of loneliness. She missed her family and friends and the familiar comforts of her hometown. She had never felt so alone in her entire life. One evening, as Chloe was sitting in a hotel room, she started to panic. She felt so scared and homesick that she called her parents and begged them to come and rescue her. As Chloe talked to her parents, she could hear the worry in their voices. They were so concerned for her and kept asking her if she was sure she was okay. But Chloe knew that she couldn't stay in Thailand. She had to find a way to overcome her fear and enjoy the experience. So Chloe did something that really scared her. She got on a bus and traveled to a nearby city. She had no idea what to expect, but she was determined to make the best of it. When Chloe arrived in the new city, she was amazed by the towering buildings, bustling streets, and delicious food. There was so much to explore and she couldn't wait to start. She found a cozy little cafe and sat down to plan her next move. As she sipped on her coffee, Chloe started to feel a sense of calm wash over her. She realized that she didn't have to be afraid. She was strong and capable of handling whatever came her way. From that moment on, Chloe decided to embrace the unknown and see where life would take her. She traveled all over Thailand, meeting new people, trying new foods, and exploring ancient temples. She even learned how to surf and scuba dive. As Chloe traveled, she started to feel more confident and independent than she had ever felt before. She realized that her fear had been holding her back from experiencing all the amazing things the world had to offer. And now that she had let go of her fear, she was free. One day, while visiting an elephant sanctuary, Chloe met a group of travelers who were planning to hike to a remote waterfall. Chloe had always wanted to go on an adventure like this, but had never had the courage to do it alone. But with these new friends, Chloe felt safe and excited. The hike to the waterfall was challenging, but the group worked together to help each other through the tough spots. Chloe was amazed by the beauty of the Thai jungle and couldn't wait to see the waterfall. When they finally reached the waterfall, Chloe was in awe. It was a beautiful oasis surrounded by lush greenery and crystal clear water. As Chloe stood under the waterfall, she couldn't help but laugh and dance. She felt so alive and grateful for the experience. In that moment, Chloe knew that she had found her true passion in life, exploring the world and sharing its beauty with others. From that day on, Chloe continued to travel and have amazing adventures. She visited Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam, exploring ancient ruins, learning about different cultures, and making lifelong friends. She even started a blog to share her experiences with others. Through her travels, Chloe realized that fear is just a feeling that can be overcome with courage and determination. She learned that the most rewarding experiences in life often lie outside of our comfort zone, and that we shouldn't let fear hold us back. Now, many years have passed since Chloe's journey began. She has traveled all over the world and has become a successful travel blogger and photographer. She has also found love and has a wonderful partner who supports her passion for adventure. Looking back on her journey, Chloe knows that her decision to overcome her fear was the best thing she could have done. It has allowed her to live a life full of freedom, adventure, and joy. And that's the end of the story. We hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Your feedback motivates us to keep bringing you the best stories. Also, share this story with your loved ones. You never know whose life it might touch. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and see you soon with another amazing story. Sometimes fear can feel like an all-consuming emotion that takes over our entire being, leaving us trembling and unable to function. But the story of Chloe teaches us that we can overcome this paralyzing fear and still be brave enough to face our deepest anxieties and take action anyway. In Chloe's case, she knew that staying in her comfort zone would lead to regret and unhappiness later in life. So, despite her intense fear, she took a leap of faith and decided to travel to Thailand. At first, her fear seemed overwhelming. She experienced panic attacks and questioned whether she had made the right decision. However, instead of giving in to her fear, Chloe chose to confront it. She forced herself to explore new places and try new activities, which helped her to gradually overcome her anxiety and build confidence in her ability to handle any situation that came her way. Through her determination and courage, Chloe was able to transform her fear into excitement and discover a whole new world of possibilities. The story of Chloe reminds us that fear is a natural human emotion that everyone experiences. It is not something to be ashamed of or avoided. Instead, we should learn to listen to our fear and acknowledge it, but not let it control us. By facing our fear and taking action despite it, we can grow as individuals and live a life that is true to ourselves, even if it means stepping outside of our comfort zone and into the unknown.